Hey everybody, it's Depke here, and today we're talking about making the ketogenic diet easy. Why is it important to make the ketogenic diet easy? Because for most people it's too difficult to actually utilize. Just be real with yourself. Are you going to be measuring your glucose daily? Are you going to be measuring, buying the necessary apparatus and measuring the ketone production and doing all that? Because and some people are that like really comprehensive, I want to figure everything out person. If that's you, great. Go ahead and get your everything that you need to measure those and actually do it and follow the ketogenic diet as it's typically laid out. But the reality is most people aren't going to buy something to monitor their glucose, and most people aren't going to buy something to monitor their ketone release, and basically that's likely you, right? So if you're not going to do that, but you want to still enjoy the benefits of the ketogenic diet, you can still do this without all of the hassle and the complication. So make it simple for yourself, because if you make it simple, you can actually be effective because you're actually going to use it. If you make it difficult and you're not going to follow through because it's difficult, you're just setting up a trap and you're setting yourself up for failure. So basically, really what you want to recognize is the importance of eating fat, as well as eating a small to a moderate amount of protein and lower glycemic carbohydrates, and also leaving yourself gaps in between meals. So this is how simple we're going to make it. So really, now when you're really in what there's always described as a ketogenic diet, typically you're being pushed into the thought of eating 2 meals a day. Like your first meal would be about 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning, or noon at the earliest part of the afternoon, and then another meal a little bit later in the day, like late afternoon, very early evening. And the thought is that you want to create the time frames in between your meals. Now, let's be realistic. Now, if you're the person who you feel like you can do that, fantastic, but not everybody can. There's a lot of people, if you wait until 11 a.m. or noon to eat your first meal, you're just going to crash and burn. And if that's who you are, you already know that. So why set yourself up for failure again? So the basics of how I would start with this, and not that this is like the hardcore ketogenic person, but here's a very basic way that you could start this for yourself. And pretty much, think of it as having 3 meals per day. But again, you want to go back, you want to have a higher amount of fat, you want to have a low to a moderate amount of protein, and then you want to keep your glycemic level of your carbohydrates very low. And you want to eat 3 meals separated by approximately 6 hours between each of your meals. And it really helps you get into this fat burning effect, where you're actually using fat for fuel rather than carbohydrates for fuel, because fat actually provides you with like 6 times more energy, and it's a more efficient and a cleaner fuel for your body, so it just keeps you healthier. So at breakfast, you would have, let's say you have breakfast at 6 a.m., then you would wait until noon to eat your lunch, and then you would wait until 6 p.m. approximately to consume your dinner. Now, the advantages of this is for approximately 3 hours after you eat your meal, you will actually be burning your food that you have consumed for energy. After 3 hours, you should be breaking down into a fat burning mode, where your body is now tapping into the stored glycogens within your fat cells to actually convert fat into fuel, rather than actually burning food. Now, one of the challenges here, and you likely do this right now, is you eat your breakfast at 6, and then at 9 a.m. you have a snack. Maybe you have an apple. Well, awesome. Maybe you enjoyed the apple, and apple overall is a healthy food. But here's the problem, though. As soon as you have that apple, now you're just breaking down the nutrients from that apple for the next 3 hours, which is really incomplete. You didn't have the fat, you didn't have the protein, and you've stopped the fat burning. So you don't want to do that. You want to give yourself that time period from about 3 hours after your meal until your next meal to go into fat burning. So if you actually eat these 3 meals, as I'm discussing, higher fat, low to moderate protein, and low glycemic vegetable consumption, well, then what you're going to do is between your breakfast and lunch, you're going to have 3 hours of fat burning. Between your lunch and dinner, you're going to have 3 hours of fat burning. And then when you eat dinner at 6, now from 9 until your next meal at 6, now you're going to actually have 9 hours of fat burning at that time. So that's a great head start on moving into the ketogenic diet in a very easy way And what I'll do is I'll post some more video giving you deeper information on why this could fail for you. Also deeper information on how you can change things up to eventually get to that more of that really sincere ketogenic diet where you're not eating your first meal until like 11 a.m. in that next morning. And I'll give you some tips to really make this easy and how to figure this out for yourself so you can understand what's going to push you into that positive ketogenic effect where you're burning fat for fuel, a cleaner fuel, a stronger fuel, and actually helping you lose weight and improve your health on so many levels. So to make sure you get all of these, make sure you subscribe to this page. Hit the little bell at the top, so you get a notification when my videos are coming through, and then post below and make a comment as to what you would like to learn more about, whether it be the ketogenic diet or any other level tied into your health and happiness overall, and I'll be more than happy to really drive that home for you. So I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Have a great day.